Hi, and welcome to A Better Place. Today we will be continuing on our topic of education as we speak to a well-known educator on St. Martin. Stay tuned, we will be right back.
Man, I'm supposed to take my girl out to dinner this weekend. I'm so broke, man.
Man, I used to have those same problems, but since I got my whip company card, when I take my lady out, I even get something back,
Get something back? But you're a lucky fella.
I take your mind out the gutter, man. What I mean is, with whip company I get back 1% on every purchase I make. With this card, I can spend in guilders and use it throughout the Netherlands and TDs. Instead of paying 1% of the dollar credit card, now I get 1% back on every purchase I make at the end of the year.
What? I gotta get myself a company on card.
Man, but let's go.
Let me go. Man, now my lady's birthday gonna be a real celebration.
At least now with Whip Compaleon, I know you're gonna get something back.
The Whip Compaleon credit card with limits as low as 500 guilders. You don't have to walk with cash, and it is accepted by practically all businesses. The Whip Compaleon is the first guilder credit card that can be afforded by anyone.
Welcome back to A Better Place. As I mentioned in the introduction, we will be speaking to a well-known educator on St. Martin, Ms. Daniela Jeffrey. Ms. Jeffrey, welcome to A Better Place.
Thank you so much, Angelique, and I'm happy to be here.
Ms. Jeffrey, let's get right into the interview because you're well known on St. Martin, not only for being an outspoken person, an educator, but also for being an author. But in this segment today, we will be talking about education and your journey as an educator on St. Martin. So start by telling us who is Daniela Jeffrey and how you became an educator.
Well, I think I was born to be an educator because I remember when I was a child, I didn't used to play. I had dollies like every girl, but I used to teach my younger brothers, and I was always teaching, and I always wanted to be a teacher. So I think it's in my blood, and I have been very passionate about my teaching. And the fact that I became a language teacher, and exactly an English teacher, is also the fact that since I went to school in Guadeloupe, and that we spoke English in St. Martin, that I was always the best student in English, like all the St. Martin students used to be in those days, and when they go to school in Guadeloupe.
Right.
So having that advance in English, well, I said that that's the subject that I would like to teach.
It's very ironic because I am also an English teacher, and I had a similar situation. And when I left St. Martin to go to the Netherlands to study, I actually wanted to do law because I was always defending, and I thought that's what I wanted to do. But I had sort of a setback when I started with the classes because I was the only local St. Martin, and I was immersed in this Dutch system, and I felt really homesickness, and I said, you know what, I'm going to do my second choice. And I changed. No, I didn't give it a chance, you know. I didn't give it a chance at all, I must be honest. And I changed within 3 weeks, and I started doing English because I was always very excellent at English as well. So it's ironic to hear you say that, and, you know, we have something in common. So okay, so you chose that, and
I chose that. Although I had other subjects where I was very good in. I was very good in biology. I even majored at my second year of a high school diploma. I majored in science because I was very good also in biology and maths. I was very good in sports. I was very good in music. You know, the choice was, and you know, I studied Latin and Greek. So languages, and they used to call them dead languages. When you're into it, there is something that drags you to, you know, to language and to know more about just speaking it, but to study it. So I think the circumstances of my studies put me in the situation where, let me give a hit at the languages.
Okay, so you went away, you studied English, and then you came back.
Yes, I didn't come back immediately.
No, okay,
I did my studies at the University of Paris, and I used to go over to England during the holidays and so on, and to perfect my skills. And after I got married to a person from Madagascar, and I lived in Madagascar for 9 years, and then from there I came back to St. Martin. Definitely my first job was in Madagascar. I never at that level. Although before I went to do my studies in Paris, I stayed in St. Martin. My father kept me because he found that I was a little too young to leave the country and so on. And he kept me for 2 years, and I taught English. I taught at the primary school in Marigot. At that time it was the École du Centre, where Nina Duverly is now. And the second year I taught in the high school, junior high school. They had the 4 years, and I taught subjects. And then I was able, before going to major in English, I was able to practice my skills, my teaching skills, and that was, I taught English, I taught biology, I taught music, and I taught sports. Those were the subjects where I was very good at.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get back to now. So you came back to St. Martin.
Yes.
And did you immediately start teaching here?
Yes, I immediately started teaching. I didn't get the position of an English teacher yet because the position was not available. And I for 2 years I taught at the newly opened technical section, and I taught French. Of course, teaching French to St. Martin students. I was able also to get into the English, because I would do not teaching them the English, but using the English sometimes to explain many concepts that was difficult for the students. So 2 years, and then after I got the position of teaching English at the Collège in Marigot, and I stayed there for quite some time.
Well, since we're on the topic of English, and that was the subject that you mastered, would you say that the students on the French side, you know, that they were able to, you know, learn the English language, the standard English, very quickly, or did they have difficulties because they speak French? How did that work on the French side of St. Martin?
The problem with having a dialect or having a natural mother tongue, I would say, the problem is that it is generally more difficult to break the language habits of a person, and when you pass to the standard language. In other words, English is not new at that moment, so to break that habit, for me, more practice is needed. That's why I fought always for us to have in the secondary, because I taught secondary and not primary, to have as much hours as French. Because for a St. Martin student that is speaking English, but broken English, in order to break that habit, in order to twist his tongue to get into the standard English, it will take more time, okay? And that is the situation. In other words, for me, the number of hours English was not really a foreign language for the St. Martin student. And that is what I had to explain to the inspectors. It is not a foreign language. We are using it, but in our local broken way. So we need as much hours in French as in English. And I was able to get to that level in order to come to a more bilingual situation, which is much more profitable for the student. Because then you have the student. I was not the type of teacher who would tell the kids what the language you are speaking is not good, you have to speak. Especially, I was studying this broken language myself, having done Old English and in my studies, and I knew that the state of the language today is not what it was 300 years ago. So language does evolve, okay? So I was able to come to the position that the St. Martin student need as much hours of studies in English as in French. So come to a more equal bilingual situation. And I think I manage very well, because my students were able to master both languages. After a period of 2 years with them, I kept them for 2 years, and they were able to master both languages. Another aspect of it is the writing.
Okay. Ms. Jeffrey,
yes.
We're going to come back to the writing. Don't forget your thoughts, because 8 minutes has gone by so fast we have to take a break. Stay tuned. We will be right back.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, Saba, and Statia, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Princess Juliana International Airport. PJIA, an ultra-modern airport offering you a warm and efficient welcome. From the breathtaking landing to the easy flow of passengers, PJIA has a spacious, clean, and traveler-friendly terminal with great food and excellent duty-free shopping. PJIA, a leader in Caribbean aviation with daily connections to all major Caribbean destinations and major cities within the USA, Canada, Europe, and Latin America. PJIA, your gateway to paradise.
Hi, and welcome back to A Better Place. Ms. Jeffrey, we're just going to talk about the writing, so continue.
Yes, the writing also has been a very important aspect of my teaching, because as such, in the primary schools, because of the situation on the French side where the primary schools were strictly French and there was no English at the primary school, we had kids who did not grasp totally the French language because the method of teaching were not geared towards not even non-English, or let us say bilingual students. If the students in St. Martin, if they learn French, but they had another language in their heads, they spoke another language at home. And that was never taken into consideration. So French was brought to them as if it is their mother tongue. And that could create, for some students, it may not be very important, but for others, it would put them back. And you had various students, those who speak English at home, those who don't speak English at home, or those who... So you have a difference there because of what the children speak as a mother tongue, and because of the fact that the French education method that were used, the French method that were used, were not just adjusted. And still, the St. Martin student is not a student that you can consider as English is a totally foreign language. French is not either a totally foreign language, right, because at least even if they don't speak it very well, even if they don't have this ability as a person belonging to that language, the person that speaks that language, they still hear it. They still could understand it. And those little differences are very important.